So I am filming this pretty much after my Darwin trip, but part of me was a bit curious to go up to Darwin just to get away from Melbourne, the cold weather, and a few other things going on in my life. So my fiance Carla had has an uncle up in Darwin, and so we were able to stay a few nights up in Darwin for free, staying at his house, which is also doubles as an Airbnb. We're lucky we got it for free. So on that note, I also decided to take a little bit of a holiday, but also a little bit of a thrift as well. So here's the thrift in Darwin. At Melbourne Airport, going through security. Got a nice little Lego store there. Unfortunately, it's closed. Would have liked to check out some Lego. One thing that was never closed is McDonald's. That Big Mac meal there, quite nice actually. It was actually hot. Had a bit of time to kill, so Carla decided to have a bit of a look at Mecca and spend a little bit of money on makeup and all that stuff. As you can see, they've had a bit of time to kill. But it was finally time to board the plane. We did fly Jetstar. It's not the most reliable airline at the moment, but especially if it was raining, they did cancel an earlier flight to Hobart. But 4.5 hours later, we finally did arrive in Darwin. Jetstar weren't actually too bad. Service is pretty average, but you get what you pay for. And we did arrive in Darwin. It was within about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was still pretty muggy. Look at that. That's one of the oldest suitcases I've ever seen. Speaking of vintage, I did help that lady with her suitcase, so she needed a bit of help with it, so I did help her. We ended up taking a taxi into a place we're staying, into Carla's uncle's place, which is an Airbnb, but we get it for free. And there's a lot of Aboriginal artwork up on the walls. Some of that stuff would probably sell pretty well on the open market, so there's some pretty nice paintings there by some renowned artists, I think, as well. So the next morning, just going through the place we're staying at, so it's got a bit of a Bali theme to it, kind of like a Bali cross with a lot of Aboriginal culture, but the outside's definitely got a Bali theme. So you got some Bali statues, a lot of kind of Bali plants and greens and all that sort of stuff. Very nice place, especially when it's not costing us a cent to stay here. We will buy them and take them out to dinner. And obviously the other side of the place we're staying at, so it's a nice place. Nice little pool there, especially in Darwin where you kind of need that to cool off. It is always hot up here, and it's come to the start of the wet season. And that's still the backyard. Nice little entertainment area there. And we're in the Northern Territory, so you're always going to see a crocodile. We got out on the road. This was a Sunday, so none of the op shops were open, but we did go to the Rapid Bay markets. Not really a thrifting market, it's more a food market, especially for Asian type foods. It's bloody hot this day again. I picked up not much, but Carl got a paw salad. So I got an inside part of the market and an outside part of the market. It's pretty busy. Got the looks type massage if you're up for that. I only stayed here about 25 minutes. It's pretty hot, and the next day the Salvos did open, which was not far from where we were staying in Nightcliff. Look, this Salvos is apparently pretty good, but I didn't really find too much there. Like the regulation, computer games, I didn't buy any of those. Didn't have prices on them either. Wasn't really too interested in picking them up. Again with the DVDs, I did pick up this Mystery Road DVD. I think that goes alright. I only paid $2 for it, and it's the only thing I bought at the Salvos in Nightcliff. Again, I do like checking out the games. I don't normally buy games only because I hate shipping them, but they had the 51 best big games or drinking games. A few thrifters out there would probably enjoy that one. But yeah, again, travelling, you're limited with luggage. Not into games anyway, so we put that one back. And the clothes at the Salvos in Nightcliff, again, not a great deal. They had this Northern Territory Rugby League top. Nah, not really for me. Put that one back as well. And they didn't have a great deal of stuff there. But we did try another op shop in Nightcliff. This one wasn't too bad, actually. I had a Kiss t-shirt there. All t-shirts here were $4. So every t-shirt at this op shop is $4, and I did pick up the Gremlins t-shirt. Gremlins were here. I thought that was pretty cool with Spike on there. I think that might go alright. Not sure it's vintage or not, but and got the Ed Sheeran t-shirt there. We didn't get that one. Just picked up the Gremlins t-shirt. But they also had this Justin Bieber Believe Tour t-shirt. Was tempted, but not really passionate about that. I'm sure it would sell, but just couldn't be bothered with it. And we did find these ink cartridges, all brand new. They had quite a lot of them, but most of them didn't really comp up too well, besides the Hewlett-Packard ones, which I have sold in the past. So I did take the Hewlett-Packard ink cartridges, only because I sold them in the past, and the other ink cartridges there didn't really comp up that great. I got a bit excited there when I saw all those new cartridges in the box. And this is the same op shop. DVDs, look, they're all $2. So even seasons and series are all $2, but didn't have many there. As you can see there, look, just your generic basic stuff for the most part. We picked up no DVDs. That's just outside the shop. It's the other side, nice little supermarket, nice little artwork there. So we just got out of that op shop, had a couple of pickups. It's bloody hot up here, sweating like a pig, muggy as all hell, about 35 degrees, no breeze, no nothing like that. In that pickup we just got the ink, have picked up these HP ink cartridges before and sold them. So for $5, I think they'll go all right. And for $4, we also picked up, as you saw in the video, the Gremlin shirt. I think that might go all right. It doesn't look quite that old, but thought I'd better buy something. Go on for the next one. So we are back on the road to a place called Palmerston. It's about 6 kilometres away from Nightcliff, and we did hit up the Vinnies in Palmerston. Palmerston Vinnies does look like a bit of a jail cell. It's a bit run down. We picked up this Attack of the Titan DVD. It does comp up quite well. I think about $15, $20. And we did check out the sports jerseys. Had a Perth Heat Australian Baseball League shirt. Baseball, not a big sport in Australia, but I think the Perth Heat do have a bit of a following, so I did pick that one up for $5. And then I had a Rugrats long-sleeved shirt. Not sure whether this is modern or vintage, but the print alone, it just really pops out with Tommy and Chucky running from, I think it's Raptor or whatever his name is. Can't really remember, but a nice looking shirt. I think will sell well. And we did pick up this Richmond Tigers AFL training shirt for $3. That was a bargain. Probably get about 20 odd bucks, 20, 30, no, probably 20, 25 for that, plus post. So we just left the Vinnie store in Palmerston. Pretty small store, not too much in there, but we did a few little pickups. Did get this Rugrats shirt. I think it's fairly modern, but cool print on there with Tommy and Chucky running away from the, I forgot what the dinosaur is called, but pretty cool shirt. I only paid $3 for this Richmond Tigers, like a training shirt. That's a pretty good deal. Probably sell that for $20, $25 fairly easy. I don't know about the size. XL apparently. It doesn't look like an XL, but apparently it is. That's a good pickup. And we also picked up the, don't see this ABL stuff too often, But I know the Perth Heat do have a pretty good following, and that's an XL. So while ABL baseball, Australian baseball might be pretty small in Australia, I think the Perth Heat do have a pretty good following in WA. And we also picked up this Attack on Titan DVD, which comped out quite well. Only paid $2 for it. I reckon I can get that 15 to 20 on that. So that's all we picked up from Palmerston Vinnies. So then we hit up the Salvos in Palmerston, and I did pick up a Fremantle Dockers jumper for $5, and it was actually a play issue to Clancy Pierce, $5, and I had $5 on my Salvos card, so I basically got that for free. Clancy Pierce played about 100 games for the Dockers, so a nice little score for a play issue jumper at Salvos.
Clancy Pierce will have 2 of them if he's accurate. A little start to 50 metres. Sends it sailing through.
Next up was the Darwin Centre Vinnies. Basically found this by mistake. I was just driving into the Darwin city and found it. And it was actually a really good decision because it had some pretty cool PlayStation 2 video games. Games I don't see every day. And I asked the lady how much they were, and look, she said they were $2 each. They didn't have prices on them. So that's up there with Karen Down's prices, but even better, when I got to the checkout, she basically just charged me $9 for all the things I bought. So I bought 8 video games and 1 DVD. And some of these games do check out quite well. So a bit of a score there, a bit of a bargain. And I did pick up the DVD I did pick up was the Girls of the Playboy Mansion, so I felt a little bit weird buying that at a Vinnies. But hey, for a buck, can't go wrong. And the video games I did pick up were the Star Wars, Lego Star Wars. I think they'll go okay. Wall-E, no instruction manual on that one, that's okay. Air Ranger helicopter game. Poker, not sure how that's going to go, but $1. Ratchet and Clank, that had 2 discs, part 2 and 3 in it, so I've got an extra disc in that. Prince of Persia. This game called Soul Labria part 3, never heard of it. And we also got SpongeBob, which I think goes okay. Vinnies in the actual Darwin city itself absolutely suck, nothing to see there. And always love to see the headline of the Northern Territory News. Northern Territory like to drink, great. The following day we headed off to the Vinnies store in Casuarina, which is on the outskirts of Darwin. At this store, the TV series were $3 each, and your normal single disc movie DVDs were $2 per movie. But obviously traveling and being mindful of what I take back, I didn't pick up any of these, although some of them were a bit tempting. They did have this Army Wise DVD. I think one of those goes actually quite okay, but again, just couldn't be bothered with it, left it there. And they had a few video games, but they're all pretty much your generic games, couldn't be bothered with it. So we headed on to down the road to the Salvos, also in Casuarina, and we entered the store. Didn't really know where I was going, so I walked right into the female department, which was pretty much the whole left-hand side of the store. Lady at the desk was probably wondering I'm a bit of a pervert, so I walked in, and all the men's gear is actually on the other side, in this small little back part of the store. And we did find this World Cup Rugby Union 2003 England polo shirt. Didn't pick it up. Was tempted, but just decided to leave it there. Almost comes under the vintage tag, being 2003. And look, they had a decent set of video games here. But again, they're priced $4 each, roughly. I did pick up the Batman Asylum game. And as you'll see later, I did pick up another game, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. That's the game I did pick up. And they had some DVDs I haven't really seen around. So they had this box set, which goes okay online. And they also had this How to Train Your, I think it's a Cockatoo, teach it tricks if you want to do that. That floats your boat.
Again, a bit of an interesting DVD. We did leave that there though. And we went off to the games department where I did see this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sealed jigsaw puzzle. Pretty much the only time I'd pick up a board game or a jigsaw puzzle if it's sealed. But I still don't like dealing with that stuff. More for postage reasons, so we also left that there. So from the Casuarina sellers, I did pick up 2 video games. The first one was the Batman Arkham Asylum game, that was $4. And then at the counter, when I was buying that game, I did see a bunch of video games. I just assumed they were $4. I don't normally see video games at the counters in the thrift stores in Melbourne where I go. And I did ask for the South Park game, thinking it was $4, but it was $8. And it is basically worth $8 online. So I picked up both those games. Didn't pick up anything else. So not a bad couple of games, but did pay a bit too much for the South Park game. Then we headed over to the Red Cross op shop in a place called Malak. This place looked a bit dodgy going in, and I was the only customer in the car park, only car there, so I wasn't even sure it was open. Did find this nice looking, it is an NRL branded shirt, but it's definitely indigenous and it's definitely got that unique look about it. So I did pick that one up. It was $10, so I did pay up a bit. The lady at the counter also had a pink one, but it didn't have Parramatta eels on it. It was just a pink, pretty much the same shirt, but pink design without the logo of Parramatta. That Hawthorn shirt was $15 for the polo, so we left that there. And they did have this Northern Territory Football League player jersey. They sometimes go alright. I was tempted by that. It was only $5, but I did leave it there. Was tempted. It was had a bit too many marks on it, and I also had this Lego Batman clock. It was about $20, I think. It was quite pricey, and also it was going to be bulky to take home, so we also left that there. Unique find though. And from the Malak Red Cross op shop, the only item I did pick up was that Parramatta Indigenous jersey or the shirt. It's not official NRL, but it's made by a brand called Crocodiles, I think it's called. Have sold that in the past, and I think that top will actually go quite well because it is quite a unique shirt. So I think that'll go okay. That was the only thing I picked up in that shop. So that's the Parramatta shirt that I did pick up, not NRL branded, but it was a 3XL, so a fantastic size. And I still think there'll be a pretty that will sell quite quickly. Very unique shirt. And after that thrift shop, we also decided to head down to Casuarina Beach. Just so hot in Darwin. Probably a lot of box jellyfish in this waters, so I don't think many people go swimming too much. But funnily enough, down the other side, towards this side of the beach, down that way, there is actually a nudist beach, if that's what you fancy. So we decided to get back on the car and head back towards Nightcliff. And while driving back, we did discover there was actually a Red Cross op shop not far from us staying in Nightcliff. So we got a bit excited, but our excitement was very quickly knocked down as this shop kind of sucked. DVDs were overpriced and not a great range of everything. We left here empty-handed. So Carla's uncle, his fiance or his partner, fed us every night. That was a Vietnamese pancake. Pretty much our smallest meal. Every other night was literally food galore. Like, you couldn't eat it all. It was just piles and piles of food. And obviously, me being a big meat eater, she definitely catered for that. So some of her cooking was fantastic. So that definitely helped out. We went to Crocodiles Park the next day. But we rocked up and there was legitimately just us in the car park. So we're like, is it open? And it was, because we did check. We actually made a booking. And there's a little gecko just hanging around the park, pretty much overlooking the juvenile crocs who are in the enclosure. So he's probably giving them a bit of crap, saying, haha, I've got my freedom, you haven't. And there's some of the juvenile crocodiles in that enclosure. So we got in pretty early to the park, and we're literally pretty much the only people there. I don't remember, crocodiles bite, and there's old mate up there in the tree. He didn't quite make it out of the park alive. And at 10 o'clock, so we're there for about an hour. They had this little croc show going.
when I say little, it was pretty much only one of the crocs or two of the crocs ended up getting fed in this time. So there's like 40 odd crocodiles in this enclosure, so they're all juveniles, but there's still about 40 odd. For some reason, they need to feed two. They must do it every hour. I'm not sure how they make sure all the crocs get fed, but we saw this in the morning. Actually, one of the other guys in our little group was responsible for feeding the croc. And we moved on, and we kind of had this crocodile feeding session with some of the bigger crocs. I actually got to feed one of these big guys as well. I think this one's about 350 kilograms, maybe 400 kilograms. It's one of the two, I can't remember which one it was. It's either 350 or 400. Definitely massive heads. And there's Carla holding a little baby crocodile. Acting like she's Steve Irwin or Benny Irwin, whoever it is. There's me with my wild foot rock flat hat on, acting like I know what I'm doing. In the gift shop, they had these little, it's Darwin, they had these sheep that you squeeze them and you know what comes out, nice. Then we took the boat cruise. It is mating season, so the crocodiles aren't really too interested in food, they're interested in other things. But a few of the crocodiles did come out, so it was a bit of a quiet day. Again, I think there's 45 crocodiles in there. In this actual kind of, I guess it's a lake. But I think most of them are females. There's only about 7 or 8 males in this actual enclosure, I think. I guess that's to stop fights over territory and all that stuff happening. Well, the cruise wasn't too bad, but like I said, because it was the mating season, it's coming up to the wet season as well in Darwin. The crocodiles have kind of got other things to do than eat, so yeah, it was all right. A couple of the animals there. And I guess being on the boat, it does give you a bit of an appreciation for the size of the crocodiles. So look, overall not too bad. And there's old mate there just having a bit of a munching. He didn't really want to take any interest in us. A couple of little wallabies there. It was a pretty hot day, so they got better things to do when you're jumping around. And I got a cassowary, so well, I think it's the 3rd biggest bird in the world. And you got to check out those feet, like those claws and those feet. They would rip you apart pretty fast. No wonder people have been killed by them. And that's an emu there, just having a bit of a dip. He's quite happy in his little swimming pool while he's pecking out some food, I guess. These ducks were just roaming around the park. I thought it was a bit interesting. They look a bit different. And this turtle, I don't know what he was on. He was on speed or something. Fastest turtle I've ever seen in my life. Nice little waterfall in the park. It was bloody hot. Again, it's Darwin. And we've got the lions there. This was the day that the lions escaped Taronga Zoo. You wouldn't want those guys to escape this, I can tell you that. And eventually one of them just got up from his slumber. A couple of locals down at the shopping centre. And look, later that night, we headed out. We ended up taking the lady was looking after our Airbnb out into Darwin City. Actually, she kind of took us out because she actually paid for it. Went to Johnny John's ice cream in Darwin City. Great ice cream. It was kind of her recommendation, and she paid for it. There's some of the ice cream there that you can select from. A lot of flavours. I got the Snickers choc mint, and I think Carla got Snickers and some other thing, and the lady looking after us got some sort of tea ice cream or something similar to that. And then again, the next day, I decided to do a bit of a thrift by myself, and this was the Fanny Bay Vinnies. Fanny Bay is one of the richest suburbs, or richer, more prosperous areas of Darwin. And I did find this Golden State Warriors t-shirt here, which you'll see in a second. It was only $3, says the city. The logo is a little bit weird. It's just got the Golden State Bridge there, nothing much else. But for $3, I'll pick that up. That was a Mitchell & Ness branded t-shirt as well. And the DVDs, most of these were about $2. Some of the seasons were about $5, so very overpriced. Most of the DVDs in Darwin are $2 for the regular movie and $4 or $5 for the seasons. So they are a little bit pricey. but I did pick up Left Behind 2, Kirk Cameron, for $2. Does comp quite well on eBay. And we also picked up this tin Daria box set for $4. So quite happy there. So at that last Finney's op shop, we picked up the Golden State Warriors t-shirt for $3. It is a Mitchell & Ness branded shirt, so Mitchell & Ness is quite a good brand. I think that will go okay. Probably put 20-25 bucks on that. The fact that I did pick it up for $3 means I can make it a little bit cheaper and pretty much undercut a few people. We picked up the Kirk Cameron DVD Left Behind 2, Tribulation Force. So there was 2 listings on eBay, each for $30-35. We picked it up for 2, so I might undercut a few people, maybe put it up for 20, maybe for 20. And we also picked up the complete series of Daria. Got it for $4, and it comes in this nice little metal tin. So for $4, can't go wrong with that. It's an 8 disc set. Yeah, so quite happy with that. So all up we spent the 3 on the shirt, 4 on the Daria DVD, and 2 on the Kirk Cameron DVD. So basically spent about $9 in that store, and I reckon I can easily get probably about 50-60 bucks out of that. So that was the last of our trip. Darwin Airport. There's Carlos saying, hurry up, dickhead. What are you doing? We had the 4:20 flight out of Darwin, and we just did wait a little while, waited in the waiting room, had a bit to eat. And there is our plane that's going to get us home. And we did always see a nice sunset in Darwin, and that's absolutely stunning, that sunset there, amazing. We're finally back in Melbourne. It was very nice to be home again in cold Darwin. So we're back from Darwin. So overall, Darwin, nice little town, very hot up there. In terms of thrifting, there are a couple of good thrift shops up there, a bit like anywhere. But there also were a few pretty average thrift stores up there where they're selling DVDs for $2-3, and they're just your normal everyday DVDs, so there's not much there. And some of the clothes up there, didn't see too much of the clothes except for that one shop which I did pick up a few t-shirts. But overall, I guess it makes you appreciate having a Savers so close to where I live in Melbourne, because I guess I can always just go down there, and I guess a lot of people do donate to Savers because they get that 20% voucher, whereas if you donate to the Salvos, you pretty much are just doing it, I guess, for goodwill. But overall, I was quite happy with the stuff I did pick up in Darwin, and some of it was quite good value. I did overpay on a couple of items, unfortunately, but it was a good experience. And obviously, the better areas you go into, sometimes you can pay a bit more, but you can also find some better items. So that was thrifting in Darwin. Thanks for watching. Give me a like. Please give me a like.